Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna make a video about how to retake sites if you decide to go for it. Which is going to be a very skewed part to cover, or this entire video in general. The main reason for this is because depending on what enemies you are playing against, your skill level, how well you are playing at the time, and depending on also what the enemies are doing, it might not only be good to not go for a retake, but it might be detrimental in order for you to be able to actually fight against the enemy. So knowing this, you really need to try and analyze based on the resources that the enemies do have, but also what you've been able to do in order to make the right judgment. So let's talk about that first before we actually go on to the retake. So what you need to first realize is how many teammates do you have left? How many teammates do the enemies have left? Have they been able to have a lot of time spent on the site? Which means that they have good after plan positions, you know, everything from this area right here to the apps. They can be further in. They can also be on the far section or on the short. They can even be further in on the short section. They might have AWP set up. Multiple people might be set up. That's only going to make it worse for you to retake. So you need to realize this. Also, you need to regurgitate information related to how much damage they've taken as well. And then you need to look at how many resources that you personally have left. Everything from smoke grenades to flash grenades to molotovs and stuff of that nature. And then you need to try and make a judgment. And now also, how many rounds are left? How many rounds you've already played? How well your teammates are performing with the gear that they do have as well. This also all do matter. In terms of if you should do a retake or not. So let's say that you then want to do a retake, then you need to think about a couple of other things. For example, do you have a diffuse kit left? If you're playing the Pro 35-minute bomb, or I mean 35-second, it blows up after that time, you might want to have a kit, because otherwise you're probably not going to have enough time to kill the enemies and then actually go for it. If you're playing matchmaking, you will have 45 seconds, so it's way easier in that sense. Other things to keep in mind is where are you entering the site from, and what are your teammates doing when they also enter the site from their position. Being able to cut off some of the areas in which the enemies might appear at, that's going to prove to be one of the most essential things, and also the most important key things that you can do in order to be able to actually get the defuse of the bomb. In which, yeah, that's not gonna be easy, so you need to try and learn yourself, like, just do it a lot. Personally, I learned a lot about how to execute all these things after just analyzing what happens, and also doing them a lot. Because when you then do that, you just, you know what the probable outcome will be, but depending on the resources you have and everything that I've already mentioned. So when you've been able to do that, then the important things that are related to actually killing the enemy or finding out where the enemy is will appear. Because it's not only important to try and, you know, defuse a bomb in which you, if you're multiple people, you can share the roles, you know. Maybe two people should first, because of the amount of time that you have left, search around on the site and see where the enemy might be at in order to be able to kill them. Or one might want to defuse while the other one will stall the enemy. There's a lot of different ways you can mix this up and do it even more advanced or effective than what I talked about right now. But what I would recommend in these cases, if you then want to do that, is to... Well, obviously, it also depends on how much time there is left and what round you're at, but I would recommend to just search the site and see where the enemies might be at. Also, keep in mind that if you do make active noise on the map and you're walking around and stuff like that, if you then are facing a good enemy, he will avoid you until you're dead or until the time runs out of the bomb. This is one of their many objectives, because if the bomb will blow up, even if they die, they will then get a lot more money. So you always then need to make sure that you are searching the site properly and that they preferably don't have information about where you are, so that when you then face them, you can easily kill them, which is pretty nice. Other ways that you can do this is to fake the information that you give them. You can, for example, walk a little bit and then you are keeping on going to the right, for example, and you know that they're behind this entire obstacle. Then you can easily fake them out, because they won't really know what you're doing anymore, which makes it even more difficult for them to be able to avoid you, because they can echolocate where you are moving and then, you know, run around. So you need to think about all these things when you want to go for it, if you want to go for it. Which is, yeah, it's really annoying in the long run. Now let's talk about the bomb position, how to defuse us more smartly, and then we're pretty much done with this video. You know, I'm just going through this very, very shallow-esque, per se. So let's say that the bomb here is planted for short. and you want to go for a YOLO defuse, and you have a kit, for example. If you then want to go for a YOLO defuse, what you should do then is to smoke approximate on the side, and then you should try and go hold in E, for example, or and you know, then go into the bomb and defuse it from a different angle, whatever kind of button you use to defuse. Why you want to do this is because the bomb is here. Then people normally think, oh, it's gonna be on top of the bomb, but that's not always the case. Which means that then, if you are not even on the bomb, you're defusing from the side, they will have to spray more even to just hit you, and that have even less accuracy than shooting at one spot, because you don't actually know where it is, and so it will be even more effective for you to be able to try and defuse. Even though, again, it's all a risk in the end of the day. So hopefully people enjoy this video. Hopefully you learned something. I mean, this video was a little bit more general, so yeah, different people learn different things naturally. Anyways, if you want to support the channel, you can find out how in the description below. Especially your Patreons, you're really awesome. But again, you know, you get the extra rewards because you're supporting and stuff like that. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play, people.